going to go over the week 12 in-class activity. It's from page 57. It's just a good place to start for this lesson. Here's the deal. When you are thinking about words and paragraphs, guys, a whole huge book breaks into chapters, right? Right? And then those chapters get broken into paragraphs, right? Little paragraphs. Each paragraph gets broken into a sentence. And then every sentence gets broken into a word. And all those words get broken into letters. Okay, so with that, all those letters have different jobs. They do different things. And because we're American English-speaking people, our language comes from all over the world. We have words that are from Italy, we have words from Mexico, we have words from Spain and France, and even other languages. So lots of different words. And most of the words that we are using are going to have these rules. I'm going to show you these rules. It actually works for the first 1,000 most used words, okay? And definitely more than that, but definitely the first 1,000 most used words in the English language you can use these rules for. There's 5 rules. The first rule that we're going to talk about is syllabication. And in your book, we use the word syllable to talk about this. Let me make this thicker for you guys because that will help with seeing it on the camera. So, undo. Okay, the word syllable has let's clap out the word syllable. How many syllables does syllable have? Syllable. Or you could do a puppet face. Syllable, right?
Or you could put your hand under.
Yeah, you could do that. Syllable. 3 times. Syllable. Okay? I teach English to adults, and I use these. This is not just for like kids, it's for everybody who uses English. We need to learn this, okay? Syllable. The first syllable of syllable is what? Sill. Say sill. Say sill, okay? The second syllable is silla, right? La. And the third syllable is syllable. So when we're breaking apart the English words to try to remember how they work, it really helps to just have to spell one syllable at a time. So I say, spell syllable by syllable. And then we don't have to remember how to spell hippopotamus, a gigantic word. We just spell it one syllable at a time. Hippopotamus. 5 syllables.
Yep.
So syllable is 3. I'm just going to work on spelling one syllable at a time. Okay? This first word, this first part is syllable. Okay? So the way we do that in this class only is we break it apart with a space. And so on page 57, there's an example. Syllable is broken apart with a space between each syllable, just kind of as like a way of visualizing the break in the word. Okay? Thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay? We're good? Okay. Number 2, the second major thing that we can do to help us remember the words is we can do a single underline. When we do a single underline, this is to tell us what the team of letters is doing. Okay, I'm going to write a word up here, and let's pretend like we don't know the teams. Let's try to pronounce it the weird way, okay? This is the word. Okay, let's pronounce that like every letter has to have a sound. No. You're forgetting the G and the H, guys. But what do we know? You guys already know this by grammar D. You already know what's one team of letters?
E-I-G-H-T.
This, just the E-I-G-H part, to here and to here, that is one of a phonics team. Okay, we've taught you guys that. A, 4-letter A, right? Have you heard that before? A, 4-letter A. E-I-G-H. Always says what? A. And you can put an N in the front of it. And what does a horse say?
Neigh.
Neigh. You can put a T at the end of it. How old are you?
8.
I know, you're not.
I'm 8.
You are 8. Okay, there you go. So now we are aware of how to underline one word for one team. Let's see if you guys can tell me what other thing we can do with this word. What letter should I underline for this word? TH, because that's a team, right? So we can do a single underline, one underline for the word for letters that go in a team.
10.
I do this all the time for adult English speakers who don't know how to speak English. They're learning. Isn't it helpful when you're learning to like underline the teams?
10.
I think it's really great. Okay? You can also do a single underline for words like me, because in this curriculum, I don't perfectly love this rule, but it's an okay rule. You can say E says E at the end of a syllable. It says its name. So you can underline and say it's saying its name. Or you could say it's the second sound of the E. This one, I don't think it's the biggest deal ever. It doesn't help me, but it might help you. Is this meh or is this me?
Me.
Yeah, and E is the sound of the E. It's its name, E. So when you underline it, that's saying it says its name, okay? Like this word, I says its name.
Hit.
Hit.
High.
No, it's supposed to be high, right? What about something with an O at the end? What could I put?
Ow. 2.
I was gonna go ho. Like ho ho ho. Merry Christmas. Right? This is an O sound. Okay, and then A. We don't actually English words. I don't know. Just the letter A actually. That if it's like a tree, A says its name, right? A tree. What is this word? A. Thank you very much. Okay, so those are single underlines. So far we've done break apart syllables with a space, and we've done, you can write a single underline to kind of remember the teams of the letters, or what they're supposed to be doing. Number 3, the third rule is double underline. Okay, double underline is saying that there's a silent letter. Okay? This is the word lamba. No?
No.
What is a baby sheep? Lamb. So yes. So you exactly, you double underline the B because it is silent. Okay? So in the book we use this for an example, but you also might have situations like this where we, with like the word syllable also,
Hoping.
it's hopping. And
like
hoping looks like, actually look at this. Hoping looks like, okay, actually, it should be like this. Okay, hoping is like this, ho-ping. Everybody say hoping.
Hoping.
And then this is hop-ing. And the second P is pretty silent. We don't say hop-ping. Nobody says hop-ping. Like that's kind of funny. I was hopping. Like, yeah, so we could double, but these are just to help us remember how to spell it. Remember we're spelling syllable by syllable? And to remember that hopping has an extra P, you need to write it in there, but you can double underline it to remember how to think to spell. Everybody put your finger on your head and say, think to spell.
Think to spell.
Spell. Okay. So third rule, double underline. Syllables get spaced, single underline, then we double underline. And then we also want to remember how the final silent E rule works when it helps letters say their name. So this is not the word Tim. Everybody say Tim.
Tim.
I is saying its name because of the final silent E, right? Like, everybody say I says I because of the final silent E.
I says I
because
because
of
of
the
the
final
silent
silent
E.
And it's silent, so we double underline that puppy.
E makes I say its name.
Yes, and we can do here, right?
Huey.
E says E because of the final silent E. Double underline. We can say hope. Hope. O says O because of the final silent E. A, what would be A?
Cake.
Cake. Awesome. Cake. A says A because of the final silent E. Okay. A, E, I, O, U. Yeah, sure. U says U because of the final silent E. Okay? So that's the idea of putting a bridge. Everybody say bridge.
Bridge.
I also call it a rainbow. You can call it rainbow. I like to say rainbow, but you can call it a bridge. The book calls it a bridge. But basically, What is the purpose here? Put your finger on your head. Thinking to spell. Everybody say thinking to spell.
Thinking to spell.
Okay, so we did syllables, single underline, double underline, bridges, and then sometimes we need an X. Okay, sometimes we need numbers. This is the letter S. It says, and it says what? So this is technically the sound, and this is the Z sound, right? This one makes my lips tickle. Do you guys know this one? What's the first sound for this one? What's the second sound? Go like this. Does it make your lips tickle? Makes mine tickle.
Yeah.
So
Make your tongue vibrate.
we can use numbers for that. Okay, we can also use numbers to tell us why a syllable said this name.
Apple.
I'm sorry. No. Let me say this.
Apple.
Let me read it right. Okay. In this one, the E is here. It's not there for one reason. It's there for another reason. There's 5 reasons why the final silent E might be there. And in this situation, the 4th reason is every syllable must have a vowel. Everybody say that. Every syllable must have a vowel. If it wasn't there, apple would not have a vowel in it. And in the English language, what did I just say?
Every syllable must have a vowel.
Every syllable, say that. Every
syllable
must have a vowel.
a vowel.
So we threw it in there. We put a 4 next to it because that's the reason for that to happen. Okay. So there's lots of reasons in your book, and they're explained in there. There's lots of reasons why you might use numbers, and in your book it tells you. I'll explain that in a second. And then the 6th reason is an X, or the 6th idea to mark up your words so that you can think to spell is drawing an X. And there's only a couple of words in the English language that truly need, hold on a second, that truly need an X above them, but this is definitely one. F and V are very related. Put your hand on your throat, say no, just say and now say and go back and forth. Your mouth didn't move. What changed? So in speech we call that motor on, motor off. So F is motor off and V is motor on. Same thing with G and J. Do G, G. Do J, J. No, wait. No, same thing with TH. Go. Your mouth didn't change, but your motor went on, your motor went off. Okay? So this is an exception. Technically, I think it would be great if we wrote of like that. Oops. If we wrote of like that, right? I can't read my brain. So, but that's not how we spell it. We spell it like this. So we put this X here to say X means exception. Repeat. X means exception. Okay. So those are the 6 rules. And then the 7th one is the idea of a bracket to help your brain do I Latin, which is a way of saying, I see how these are connected. They seem like they have a connection. Do you guys see that these words have a connection? Thumbs up if you see it, thumbs down if you don't. Do you see the connection? Thumbs up? Do you see the connection? Thumbs down.
I'm not sure if I
Run, ran.
Oh. R-N.
Yeah, like the meaningful connection. Do you see the meaning has like a connection? So you could put a bracket like this, okay? A bracket's just saying, I see how these are connected. Now, what if I did this? Oops. Whatever. What if I did this? So. Do run and rain have anything? They have R's at the beginning. No, they wouldn't get a bracket because the meaning of them is not connected, right? They both have R's, they both have N's, but there's no connection. I mean, I guess you could make a sentence up, but run in the rain or something, but they don't have a meaningful connection.
Oh, I get it.
So when you use a bracket is when you're trying to say these 2 words have a meaningful connection, okay? And that's the 7 items in this kind of unit for weeks 12 and 13 so that we can kind of get our brains around thinking to spell one syllable at a time. Can you guys repeat it? Say thinking to spell one syllable at a time. Okay?